Alright, y'all, man. Welcome to another session of Southwest Chronicles. Southwest Detroit Chronicles. Part 2. Right now, I'm going to take you through what used to be Street Boyhood. I don't know if there's any more Street Boys around or not around that area, but where it used to be the hood real strong and the gang banging 90s was over here. How you doing? Over here by my uncle's spot, man. I know a lot of people around this area. Going up here on Central. Well, yeah, like I said in the previous video, you know, you had one side of the lawn, you know, there was Street Boys, and one side there was, you know, SGDs, GDs, Cobras, whatever. So I'm over here coming from that side. That side of the lawn, you know, I'm gonna take you over to where the Street Boys used to be at. That mainly became a Yemenese community now, so I don't think there's any bangers around that area no more. But there's a large Yemenese population there now. Mainly a lot of Yemenese, so pretty much bangers dead over there, but used to be Street Boyhood. Now the Street Boys, man, they, like I said, man, they used to be, they were under, you know, they're basically, you know what I'm saying, a homegrown group that was created here in Southwest Detroit. You know, when the Council Cobras came over to Detroit from Chicago, man, basically, you know, a lot of crews in neighborhoods, man. You know, there was a bunch of little crews, man, and a lot of them either start picking sides to either be down with the folks or be down with the Counts people. So, and then you had the cash flows, which is like another story too. That, you know, they had their own nation. They were beefing with both at one point, but the Street Boys, like I said, they used to be, when they were originally like a street crew. Street Boys been around for a long time, since the 80s. They were like I believe a breakdancing crew back in the day. And then you know, as you know, the gang banging 90s rolled through. You know, they first started off with family, but something happened with them in the cash flows, and you know, the Street Boys more their enemies were the Square Boys, which is another video, another story. I knew a lot of them too, but because the flows were cool with the Square Boys and the Street Boys wasn't down with that. You know, the Counts used to beef with everybody, so they lined themselves. Really became the Counts' closest allies, man. Really, like, I mean, like Counts Part 2. You know, them guys would go to prison, man. You know, they were automatically clean count, and you know, they would be allowed to do that, man, because basically, you know, they were our closest allies. They were basically like us. I would say probably how the Counts of the Bishops were a long time ago. But yeah, about to cross over now. Now on this side, where I'm at right now, along here used to be you know, SGDs. Even though there was a section, there was a block over here that was 5900 Street Boys, but there's always like little pockets of crews and deep in people's hood. And I always thought that was crazy, but it always was. But they were crossing over here on Kirkwood and Long Hill. Now this would have been Street Boyhood. Street Boys had two parts. They had this side of Michigan. Past Long Hill, they had this side of Michigan, and the other side of Michigan, there was Street Boyhood. So once you pass that Long Hill section over there, basically like going between Dearborn, Long Hill, Michigan, Long Hill, McGraw, when you cross over here to the west side of Long Hill, doing Street Boyhood. This was the 5800 section of Street Boyhood. So over here, the well-known members, well-known Street Boys was like, you know, Apache, was known to be their head back in the day, you know. Apache, Ramsey, Gemini's only gangbanger I ever seen that was Arabic up to that point in time. Ramsey, Billy the Kid, but this side of the hood, this side of Street Boy, I'm gonna take you by the old house right now, was led by a guy named Billy the Kid and his brother Dirty D, and they were the 5800 Street Boys. Real dudes around here, there are a lot of Hondurans around here too. Here we go, 5800 Cabbage Street. This was 5800 hood. This was the main stronghold for the Street Boys. It was a household where Dirty Dan and Billy the Kid lived that they got shot up constantly, man. But the house is real nice now. Yeah, this block, like I said, you know, they were close allies with the Count. So this block here, Cabot, in between that street, Denison and McGraw, was, man, all Street Boys used to be flooded. Flooded. This house coming up here to the left, the brick house right there, that used to be the main house, man. The A1 used to be at the Street Boy main headquarters. Now it's a bit nicer. They hooked it up. The family don't live there no more, but yeah, like I said, this became mainly a Yemenis community now. The Yemenis is large Yemenis community. So yeah, like I was saying though, there was two sides. It was this side, you know, 5800. It was ran by a guy named Billy the Kid and his brother Dirty D. Dirty D passed away. Billy the Kid, you know, moved on, got his life together. You know, then to the other side over here, once we could cross over to Lawndale, to Lanyo, which was the 4800 section of the Street Boys. And this park that's we'll be pulling up on, man, here in a minute when I cross over to Lanyo. I call it Lanyo Park, but it's called something else, a Polish park. Like I said, we right here on the Lanyo McGraw, right down on the Street Boy side. Now, if you would have crossed over there in the 90s, that would have been the folk side. When we turn over here, and we go towards, oh, fuck it, don't beep at me, bitch. See, don't fall. When we turn over here, across Michigan's gonna be 4800 Street, but we go by the park where the yard used to be at, deep as hell back in the day. One thing you will get around here is a lot of crazy drivers. Alright, I'm over here. I'm like right side of Lanyo. Now, this other side of Lanyo, when you pass Michigan over here, this other side of Lanyo, like I said, it was the Square Boys hood, which was the motor, basically like the main enemies of the Street Warriors. Those were the guys who went at it pretty hard with each other. But this side here, coming up on the park right now, I call it Lionel Park, man, but it's called Romanowski Park. Okay, it's Romanowski Park. This park, man, we should be over there by the bleachers. We'll drive by there in a minute. But now we're on the other side of Michigan. We had this side with Street Boys. This side over here was Square Boys. Even though the Square Boy wasn't really, you know, they were a little bit down further, but you know, this side of the line, you know, if you was a Street Boy, you go down that side line, you know, either side, if you guys were either or, especially if you were a Square Boy crossing over to this side, you'll run straight into Street Boys. But you know, you might have a few blocks if you're a Street Boy and you cross over to that side, but you always had a chance of running into Square Boys over there, so it was pretty risky, you know, drifting over to that side. But yeah, here's Romanowski Park. It's the name of the park, it's Romanowski Park. Oh fuck, it's a one-way. Damn it. Well, it's a one-way, man. I'm gonna have to go around. Oh damn it, and all the way down to Chronicles. Just true giant park. Giant Kronk, another story too, because you go straight down the line, you'll pass Giant Kronk. Now you're going into Cobra Hood, Hospital Hood. So there was literally borderlines, man. Back in the Game Bang 90s, it was literally border lines around here. Alright, we're going up Lawndale right now, where the 4800 Street Boys used to be at. Apache, Little Man, Ramsey, that crew. This block looks nice now. It wasn't so nice back then. Now it looks a lot better. But this was basically this side of the hood here. Juice used to live in this one house. Well, Lawndale and Arnold. Straight Street Boy hood. Yeah. St. John and Lawndale. Yeah, I gotta turn on. Thing about the Street Boys, man, it was I don't know if it was, I don't think it was done strategically or whatever, but I noticed right now myself, man, like a lot of them, like didn't get. I mean, there's some that got shot, killed, yeah, but you know, particularly one named Crackerjack. But the way they used to hang out and the way they used to, now I see the way the streets are. Like there was always the side of houses and stuff, man, the side of brick buildings. So I think that lucked out a lot because you see how the streets are. They're like real long streets, and them guys, I mean, coming down here trying to do something would literally be a death trap because you wouldn't know. You come down here shoot at one of them, you wouldn't know where the gunners would be because there was always gunners around everywhere. There's always gunners around everywhere. I know particular one time. I know a lot. This place up here is a Native American church. And they used to have like gunners inside. So they didn't have all them gates here, nothing like this. But this used to have steps. We used to hang out on the steps of that church. And they come and try to shoot at us or whatever, man. The gunners would come out and guns light them up. So it's pretty risky coming down to this side right here. Because you never know where there's a gunner at. And at that time, literally back in the day, there was literally houses. Every other house a street boy lived in. This house right here on the right-hand side was a well-known spot. I actually used to live there with them people back in the day. Also, like I said, man, there was always people with little small pockets. You have a predominant hood, right? You have a predominant cow hood, predominant, in every predominant hood, there's only like one little small pocket of a resistance clique. Just turn, yeah. Like for example, this was all street boy hood, but on the next few blocks over was cash flows. There was two blocks of cash flows. 4400s they were called. They had like 2 blocks, Sharon Street and Western Street. Lolo would know. Park. We'll go back to the light because this is a bitch driving. Man, so many times we got raided at this park. So many times I got raided with them guys. Man, I have bad luck with, I go hang with somebody, go hang out, and then their house will get raided or some dumb shit. Or the spot got raided. Like over here, man, we used to be out here, man, Gang Squad put up so deep one time and like took, and then that's where they, they kept that curfew violation, strict with it. So man, they used to take a bunch of us to jail all the time, man. So I think twice I went to jail over here, man. At this park right here, and these bleachers coming up right there to the left. The bleachers are still there to this day. Wow. Them bleachers, man. Squads would just pull up everywhere. They cut through the field and everything. We didn't have too much place to go. Some will get away, some not. There's an old school SBI thing there. I don't know if I can see it, but old school street. Street boy line. It's odd because you don't see too many gang, graffiti no more around here, but that was an old school one. I can tell that's been there since the 90s, just by the way it's drawn. I don't even know the guy who did it. right now it's craving spaghetti now, man. I have some steak starting out, man, but talking about a raid, man, because I remember we got raided one time in this one guy's house, and his mom was making spaghetti, and it smelled good as hell, man. They raided us. Now I just started thinking about spaghetti. I want to eat spaghetti. Try to sit this way. I had a friend that lived over here, spent corner house, and I didn't get no more at all. What the hell is this shit? Oh. El Salvador, you know. Oh. Doesn't look too bad, man. I'll be able to get this down. From over here. Damn, I'm in this church, huh? Man, I believe a cash flow named Smokey a long time ago got killed over here, behind over here. Rest in peace, man. Now this is the area where I'll tell you that, you know, this was all street boy hood over there. Now these couple blocks used to be cash flow hood. Besides little dead end streets over here, used to be flow hood. And like I said, street boy killed the cash flow right over there. I believe the cash flow's name was Smokey. Yeah, it was a long time ago, like in 94, 93. My cousin, God rest his soul, got killed over here. Oh shit. Let's see. This is there. Someone's there. Yeah. ¿Qué pasa?